Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time on the middle of a busy Thursday afternoon. I know things are, I would say, for the most part, starting to get back to normal here. I know there's a lot going on in this world as we speak, but the bottom line is we still have to go out and help these families, right? Especially at times like this during the end of a pandemic here, and hopefully it's over sooner than later. Bottom line is we have to provide the best tools, platforms, products, carriers to our agents so you can go out and help more families and obviously help your own family, right? By being the breadwinner, making sure everyone's taken care of at home. And when it comes to life insurance products and carriers and platforms, you have to rely and trust on Levinson, right? That we're going out and doing our homework to make sure that you have the best of the best at your fingertips, and you don't have to shop around with 3 to 5 different IMOs to make sure this was the best illustration, or you're using the best website or quoting tool. So we have you covered. When it comes to carriers and products, okay, we don't like to have a lot of overlap. Okay, we don't want to have a Burger King, a McDonald's, and a Checkers, right, all on the same corner. We want to have the best, let's say, carrier for underwriting, and maybe the best carrier for IUL, maybe the least expensive term carrier with the best conversion option, and we like to make sure that all of our bases are covered. And with that said, today we're going over John Hancock. And when you think about Hancock, they've been around a long, long time. They're rated A plus by AM Best, right? A lot of CPA firms, estate planning companies, financial institutions love Hancock because of the name in the ratings, right? They know when they bring up John Hancock to their consumer, to their clients, that they're well protected, right? They have a great reputation, a great name. They're going to be around for a long, long time. But I remember years and years and years ago, yes, they had a great name, great ratings, but the products were good, okay, but they didn't really shine in one area tremendously. So, yes, of course, we used them and we sold a lot of premium through our agents. But here's what's interesting. So now, you think about the last 2 years, right? And nobody knew about this pandemic. But here is a company, right, that it not only, yes, has a great name, has great ratings, but they made a huge transition. They pivoted. They said, you know what? Yes, we sell a lot of product, okay? And yes, we like the medium to larger cases, okay? But they also said, you know what? We have to change. We have to make sure that our e-application is the best. We have to make sure that we have an instant decision platform, okay? And not only to 250 grand, but to 3 million. We have to make sure that our LTC rider is still one of the best in the industry, right? They have a new IUL product. They have some new technology when it comes to quoting that's built into our quoting engine on iPipeline that's second to none. In fact, there's only a handful of carriers that are on this platform. They are one of them. So not only, yes, have they always been there, they've always been a great company, but they have shined, in my eyes, tremendously, especially over the last 24 months. So we wanted to bring them back to the surface. We wanted to talk about all these new updates, these new changes. They still have that quit smoking incentive. They're the only one in the industry that will give your smoking client a non-smoker rate, right, and give them a chance to quit. And then obviously the client has to prove it, right, to keep that non-smoker rate. But basically, long story short, they have some niches that nobody else has in the industry. When it comes to diabetics, great program. When it comes to foreign nationals, okay, they shine. They set themselves apart tremendously in the foreign national space. We're going to talk a little bit about that. They have this new underwriting crediting program that's also second to none. So anyway, if you've heard about Hancock, if you've been with Hancock for a while, that's great. But I promise you're about to find out some new changes, updates that are going to blow you away. Because when I found out about these updates, I was blown away. And I've been in the business now over 23 years. We've been with Hancock over 15, but I've never seen anything like this. So sit back, relax, take a ton of notes. Make sure you're using that Q&A box. Okay, we're going to answer every question that rolls in. We're also going to give away the Fire Tablet 8 at the end. We're going to ask a question that we're going to touch on during this presentation. Whoever answers first and correctly wins the Fire 8 tablet. I'll announce your name at the end. We're also going to throw in an IUL prospecting book. So again, make sure you're paying attention. Also, before I jump in to the next slide here, we have a lot to cover, okay? I want to make sure you walk away with nuggets. So take down your notes, okay? If we have time for questions for the main presenter, we will absolutely ask away. But even if we don't have time, if we're running short, I want to get everybody out the door by 4 p.m. Eastern. Use that Q&A box. We're going to answer every single one of you either right now as they come in or as soon as we hang up. Plus, we're going to send a thank you email to every participant before we leave tonight. So you'll have an email in your inbox with all the brochures, contracting, all the incentives, everything you need to get started, okay, and all the latest marketing material as well. And I wanted to add this. If you are a Hancock agent, maybe you're with someone else, with John Hancock, no problem. It's okay. If you say, Bill, I want to use your elite programs, your great technology, this new quoting engine you have where John Hancock is actually part of it and integrated, we will move you over to Levinson, okay? Plus, match or beat your commission. Most of the time we beat it. And you get cash or free leads with your first paid application through Levinson, okay? That simple. Now, obviously, you have to fall into the guidelines, no business in 6 months or a release. But again, if you have a contract just sitting on the shelf, we'd much rather have you move it to Levinson, get you writing, and I think the carrier would appreciate that as well. So let us know. We're going to include all of this in today's thank you email if you want to make the transition over to Levinson and leverage all of our platforms in tech. Great. And by the way, most of everything that we offer is free anyway, so it's a win-win-win across the board. What you're looking at now, that's part of the details for the cash for contracting, and you get to pick LFC or CFC, which means leads for contracting or cash for contracting. Andrew, let's move to the next slide here. What I want to talk about next is our latest mobile 2.0 version that just came out 10 days ago, and it's free for all Levinson agents. In fact, Hancock is built into here as well. So basically what this allows you to do, right, you think about this, especially in the middle or towards the end of a pandemic, you have to be on the fly. You got to be on the move, right? You're let's just say in the Walmart shopping line or Publix or the supermarket or whatever, and you're wearing your free scholarship pin and someone says, hey, tell me about free scholarships. I have 2 kids that are going into high school and I got to start thinking about college, right, or middle school or whatever it is. And you present yourself as a life insurance agent and how you can help. And, I've been meaning to get a quote, but I heard it's so expensive. Well, hold on. You pull your phone out, run a quote, sign this client up while you're literally waiting to pay for your food, your groceries, okay? You can do it through the drop ticket or the e-app on your smartphone, okay? Single sign-on, which means once you're in, you just click the little button, always, password is always included or always registered. You don't have to click anything. You literally click on the app, you are in, you can run quotes, go to the e-app, drop ticket, you can check on your existing cases. If the client says, well, Bill, I'd love to have a quote, but I heard because I'm 5'10", 310 pounds, I can't get a policy. Well, absolutely you can't, sir. And here's your quote, and you turn the phone around and boom, sign them up, done, move on, pay for your groceries, and you have a new client, literally. Okay, plus, when the client's approved, you're going to be notified in your broker status or case status little section there through the app. So everything you need from your desktop computer or laptop is on your smartphone. This is for iPhone or Android-powered phones or iPads even, okay? So whatever you have, this is fully integrated and seamless with SSO technology, which means single sign-on, so you don't have to log in 22 and a half different times, okay? Every single part of the app is seamless, takes 2 seconds, all updated in real-time fashion from the carrier. So this is a game changer in our industry, and it's free. So make sure it's loaded. We're going to send out the download instructions when we are done in that thank you email, but this is a game changer. You're going to love it. And by the way, I want to hear your feedback on this as well, because we've been working on it for, 18 months now, more or less. Okay, the Expo is back. It's been almost 3 years now, and we are so excited to be back in front of you all. It's about 3 weeks away now, April 8th, and I hope by now you're registered. Okay, we have over 300 RSVPs. This is in South Florida at our beachfront location, right on the sand. Okay, so by the way, even if you've been with Levinson for a month and you haven't written anything yet, it's free for all Levinson agents. Our keynote speaker is Mary Reed. She is a 5-time best-selling author when it comes to her own strategy, distribution solutions, and here's what's so cool. So, how many times have you been to these seminars, expos, and you're listening to a keynote or one of the presenters, and everything they're telling you is like way over your head, and you're thinking, yeah, right, I don't even know how to spell what she just said. Okay, here's what's so cool. So Mary, right, you're going to hear her speak for almost an hour about these different strategies that all are revolved around tax-saving strategies, retirement planning, cash accumulation, right? She works with 2 main companies. You're going to get a copy of her book by being at the expo, but here's the cool part. How many times do you say, oh, I got a guy, I got a girl that would be perfect for this, but I don't understand the lingo, right? In layman's terms, I don't understand how to get them excited, especially if they have a estate planning attorney or a CPA they're working with. How am I going to talk about this concept to these people? With Mary, listen to this. So you say, Mary, I got a guy, I got a girl, perfect for this. Mary will set up the presentation. She'll do all of the selling for you, and you still get most of the commission. Okay, think about this. Her average case size is 140 to 200,000 of annual paid premium. These are monster cases, and the bottom line is, all you have to do is know one person, and this changes your year. Okay? So anyway, you are, and I don't care if you're focused on term, final expense, or you love the $50 million IUL estate planning cases, doesn't make a difference. You will walk away with some nuggets after listening to her speak right after lunch. I promise you. So this expo is going to be amazing, amazing. We have 10 carriers there, our core companies. You're going to hear all about sales strategies, which is the name of the game. We're launching some new technology on Insure Me Now Direct, new exclusive products, all of the above. Giveaways on the hour, cash giveaways, our grand prize finale giveaway at the end of the day, free lunch, free snacks, all of the above. I hope to see you there April 8th. Please don't miss this event. Literally, it's been almost 3 years now, so we are so excited. The energy is going to be amazing, and it's going to be a great day all the way around. I just don't want to see anyone get locked out, so make sure your RSVP is in by the end of March, so March 31st. Okay, what's new at Levinson? So I'm not going to talk about everything because I want to make sure we have plenty of time for our presenter, which will start in about a minute here. Just real fast, if you look on the left side, we have some new incentives. We have, in fact, we have new incentives for Insure Me Now Direct, where you can get with your first application anywhere from $50 to $150 on top of your standard commission plus renewals with some of the products on Insure Me Now Direct. Let's focus on the middle section. We have Lincoln increasing their non-med limit to $2.5 million on the 28th. Kansas City Life just rolled out the new longevity term to 80 or 85. So that's another hot product that I haven't seen before. Let's move over to the right-hand side. Very important. If you're coming to the expo and you need a room, let us know. We're going to send out an email. We have about 3 hotels in the area. that are also giving us discounted rates as well. I think our hotel's already filled up. But again, you'll see the email go out. Questions, let us know. Social media tip of the month, that is rolling out. We'll include that in the thank you email tonight. And then our podcast is going to be recorded next week, which you're going to love. So this guy, who's our guest speaker on the podcast, he is the official former speaker of the Miami Heat. Okay, so the official speaker of the Miami Heat, Jason, is joining us, who is now a certified financial planner, has a great local agency, and he's going to talk about how he got involved with sports and broadcasting, how he went from the Miami Heat to a CFP, which is really interesting. So he's going to share some great tips and tricks. You're going to love that. So again, launching the end of next week. Okay, let's jump into our feature presentation. We have our regional VP at John Hancock, Mr. Andrew Spiro, who's also a good friend of mine, and he is literally, when it comes to marketing, selling life insurance, a second to none in the space. Andrew, you there, buddy?
I'm here. What a great opportunity, Bill. So it's a pleasure listening and hearing and being invited to speak.
Well, we appreciate you, buddy.
Am I good to go?
Yep, you are good.
And by the way, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. I wanted my presentation to be in green. Somehow that got messed up, so we're going to have to talk to the videographer on this one. As Bill said, I could be more excited to be back. You've got one of the top BGAs in the country in Levinson. From a technology standpoint, they are phenomenal. And the one positive I would say out of COVID, I hope, Bill, I heard your words, I hope we're at the end of COVID. It feels like that to me. I'm seeing a lot of activity, a lot of business. But the one positive that happened with COVID was the insurance companies stepped up their games. And John Hancock in particular, I couldn't be more proud because we didn't miss a beat. We didn't change the maximum ages. We didn't change our underwriting classes. And if anything, we became easier, more touchless to work with. And that's the first thing I'm going to start talking about right now. We now have through iPipeline, your agents can access our e-application. And in doing so, and who doesn't like Vegas, you can get essentially instant underwriting approval, up to 3 million, up to age 60. If it's not the highest, it's among the highest in the industry. And literally, as soon as you press the submit button, Bill, you get one of three messages. Either you're approved instantly, we need to do a little bit more work, but the hope is to still approve the case without any labs or APSs or any records whatsoever. Sometimes that might take a day or two. And I would say half of the eligible cases fall into that category where they're either getting instantly approved or approved within a few days, or you'll need traditional underwriting. So we couldn't be happier. Even if you need to go through traditional underwriting, the e-app is fantastic. It's easy, it's intuitive, it's flexible. It shaves time because you can't miss any questions. Everything's in good order because it won't let you progress. There's a way to keep confidentiality with your clients because if they want to complete just the medical questions, you can forward that over to them. The reviews have been fantastic, and we're very excited. Initially, we had this where it was just on our website, but more recently we opened it up to iPipeline, and again, we've had tremendous success with it. So something that we can talk about in more detail later. I just want to highlight a couple cases where agents have used the e-app and just kind of give you an idea of kind of the experiences they've had. So this was a gentleman who's 48 years old. He was looking for a term policy. He previously purchased life insurance and he wasn't happy with the process. He went through one of these kind of fast track underwriting processes, but he needed to do a phone call. He got a phone call. Guess what? Who picks up their phone these days, Bill? He didn't know who the number was. He had to return the call. He got a service. Went back for days. Wasn't happy with that process at all. With our process, the agent said, look, there's a new, easier way to do life insurance. Take a look at what John Hancock can offer. The case was approved instantly, no phone call, no missed calls. It was approved on the spot 3 minutes after the e-app was completed. Issued preferred, period. We had another case, Joyce 42, was looking for $1 million of index. So she also wanted a long-term care rider. The agent brought together, again, John Hancock. Loved the fact that we could do $1 million, not 250, not 100,000. Love the fact that we can get instant approval without, inclusive of an LTC rider, a true qualified LTC rider. Came to us, and candidly, on this particular case, Bill, there was some additional financial clarification that we needed. So the client did not get an instant approval, but we were able to approve her without any labs, without any medicals, without any EKGs. A few days later, after the EAP was submitted and the financial information was clarified, policy was ultimately issued within a 13-day period at super preferred rate. So again, up to age 60, 3 million, all permanent and term products other than second single life products. You can add the long-term care riders. You can add our vitality. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the presentation. We have instant approval where you literally press the button and you're approved. We have what we would call fast track, which is not instantly approved, but the goal is to still get it approved without any medicals. That's what happened with Joyce. And then, of course, we have traditional underwriting, but it still keeps the app in perfect order. And it reduces we found the underwriting time, the turnaround time by a good 20 days or more. So couldn't be more excited about this. We're also very excited to do total view underwriting. John Hancock has always been known for their specific underwriting. We use our own underwriting manual, but with total view, we've taken this step further. How many times have you seen a client, he's in great health, works out at the gym, built like an Iron Man, but because of family history, he's not super preferred. Because his cholesterol is slightly high, he's not super preferred. Because every company out there, as far as I know, besides Hancock, uses what's called traditional knockouts. So there's a guide. If the blood pressure is over this point, you're out. If the weight is over this, you're out. If your family history is this way, you're out. We take a total view approach. We look at the overall risk factors. We eliminated the knockouts, right, Bill? You look good with your boxing gloves. We eliminated the knockouts. We got rid of it. By the way, you did. I would be nervous. We got rid of the knockouts. Essentially, we look at your overall body of work. And if it's good, you're going to get better underwriting. Your agents will get the best underwriting with us. I promise you, we know each other a long time. This is an example. We had a male, 55, good health, active lifestyle. Mother died at 58, cholesterol slightly elevated. Everybody else was preferred. We looked at everything and we offered super preferred. That differentiates the agent. The agent won the case, lower premium. How? Why did we do it total view? Because, again, we discounted the mother's stomach cancer. The cholesterol was just barely, it was a couple points over, and everything else was perfect. So we're not going to, penalize someone for being 2 pounds overweight or having slightly elevated cholesterol that was 5 points over the cutoff point. So something to consider, and it will help you win more cases. Our underwriting has always been our strength. Coronary artery disease, over age 70, standard plus or preferred as possible. Most other companies are standard. Diabetes, if I had to pick one medical condition that's our absolute top best in industry, it's diabetes. We offer preferred for over age 60, and we have a whole Aspire program. We're going to talk about that later as well. Cancer, possible standard immediately after treatment for early stage and localized cancers. Smoking classifications. Bill talked about our quit smoking incentive. Super cool program. We'll give smokers non-smoker rates for the first 3 years, and then we'll allow them to requalify without providing any medical information. No one in the industry does that. They just have to simply say they haven't smoked in a year. They have 3 years to do it, and they haven't, they sign a form to that, and they have to have a clean urine. And they continue at the non-smoker rates, which are about half the price of smoker rates. Smoking classifications, we offer a preferred smoker, we have standard smoker, but the way we define smokers, and this is a real big advantage for us, if you're having a cigar, chewing tobacco, even if it shows up in the urine, Bill, we can be a non-smoker. We don't have to kind of fumble on the app. How do we answer that question? If someone's smoking a cigar every day, they have nicotine in their urine, they'll be a standard non-smoker. If they have up to 24 a year, no nicotine in their urine, they could be standard plus. Up to 12, they could be preferred or even super preferred. People these days, we ask about marijuana use. If we do test for it, if it's negative, they could be preferred non-smoker depending on use of how often they use marijuana. So very liberal smoking classifications. Retention capacity, nobody's better than us. We can keep up to 30 million retention for single life, 35 million second to die, up to 65 million auto bind, which means essentially you come to me, Bill comes to me with a big case, we can bind, play 65 million at the snap of a finger. Healthy edge, automatically, we're going to internally upgrade our underwriting classes that are standard or better, ages 20 to 70. We basically will, based on healthy factors, their net worth, their social, do they have jobs, what kind of routine care, do they see a doctor every year? We basically have a healthy edge program where we can improve the underwriting class. It's an automatic program that we have in-house that our underwriters look at the case to potentially improve offers and continuously strive to provide you as the agents the best offers in the industry. This is something that we don't talk about as much as we should. We have a very generous temporary insurance coverage program, TIA. Essentially, we can provide 90 days of coverage, up to $1 million individual and 5 million second to die. You answer a series of questions. If they're all no, you can actually bind the case. Again, up to $1 million single life, up to 5 million second to die. If there's any change of health that happens afterwards, we had a recent case. It was a shame. Actually, I like to kid around. This is not a joke. Where a client had almost a fatal car accident. We're absolutely uninsurable. We're fortunate enough to sign the temporary insurance coverage, and they were covered for up to $1 million, which was beyond important to their family. They had no insurance in place. This is probably not talked about and used as much. A lot of companies have moved away from this where you can't do it. So some of the largest amounts of coverage that you can bind on a temporary basis. This is super cool. And Bill, I'm not sure if we even spoke about this. Bill mentioned, and he's absolutely right, there's only so many of the 1%ers or 2%ers that you can find. That's always been our bread and butter. But we've actually tried now, and we're working very hard to get more transactional business, more flow business, more what we call regular business. And we've been very successful with our e-app and other things. But we still have a specialty for the high net worth space. And our concierge underwriting process, I am so happy. We basically brought it forth during the heightened pandemic of COVID. And what it does, it allows your best clients to have the easiest underwriting process. Think about it for a second. And sorry for my voice, Bill, battling something. I'm not sure what it is. But we allow your best clients to have the best process from an underwriting standpoint. Why should someone who spends $500 a year on a term premium have the same underwriting experience as someone who's spending $500,000 a year? Candidly, they should not, right? So what this program does, it allows you to distinguish yourself by distinguishing your best clients. And you alone are in charge of this. For clients 35 to 70 with a net worth of 10 million or more, we basically, in a nutshell, will work off of the client's APS records and try to avoid the need for any routine requirements. So in other words, the thought process is your clients are high net worth. They usually care about their health. A lot of them will have VIP doctors, right? They want to look good. They want to stay young. They want to live a long life. Why do we need a strange person with a needle in the urine cup going up to their house? So what makes this program so unique is the amounts. We can write between 5 million and all the way up to $65 million. And no, I didn't start at $65 million theoretically without blood, urine, EKG, just working off the APS records. The big key here is that the clients have to be well followed. Basic rule of thumb, they should go to their doctor about once a year for a physical with blood and urine. They need to have some sort of cardiac workup in the past 3-5 years. And I will tell you that most clients do. And once you work a case through this process, there's no going back. It's beyond easy. You don't have to worry about what they ate last week, that they're flying to Aspen, or anything else that's going on. And this is not just for healthy people. This is for people who are super preferred, people who are standard, people who are table 6. It doesn't make a difference. So again, contact us. We'll give you more details, but for your best clients, you can differentiate yourself. This is a game changer. Okay, Bill mentioned foreign nationals. I'll just tell you very simply, we write more foreign national business probably than anybody else for a U.S. domestic company. We have higher capacity. We find that the foreign nationals that we write are global citizens. They have homes all over the world. They have assets all over the world. And no one has the capacity and underwriting classes that we offer. This is a few, but most of Europe, things have changed recently. Ukraine obviously went from a B country where we can do super preferred rates for, up to 40 million to we won't insure. So it's very fluid. You have to check in with us. But basically, most of Europe is an A. We can do up to 40 million super preferred. South America, I'm in Miami, Florida, is very hot. Mexico super preferred, Dominican super preferred, Panama super preferred, Brazil super preferred, Argentina super preferred. So Colombia, we can do preferred. So it's generally either preferred or super preferred, up to either 24 million for C countries or 40 million for A and B countries. They do need to have some U.S. financial presence. It's minimal, Bill. It's $200,000. And we base the insurance on their worldwide assets. So they do have to have a pre-existing U.S. bank account. Solicitation has to be here. I sound like one of those guys in the commercial, those drug commercials. We have all these disclaimers at the end. So I'm going to move beyond that, but just to let you know that we can help you with your foreign national business, and nobody does it any better. Okay. Protection UL. This is our flagship product. It's a fixed UL product, has tremendous guarantees to life expectancy. Coverage runs indefinitely. I'm going to make a bold statement here. This is the lowest priced UL product in the industry. This is an example, 60 million, level pay $1 million death, 60-year-old preferred non-smoker. I say 60 million, 60-year-old preferred non-smoker, level pay $1 million death benefit. Against the world, you see here, the next best company is Protective, 11% more expensive. Penn Mutual, 12, Nationwide, 16, Prudential, 90% more expensive. And as Bill mentioned earlier, with John Hancock, you never have to worry about who's John Hancock, what are their ratings, what's their financial strength about. The company sells itself. Great cash value buildup. It's a low cost death benefit product, high internal rates of return, but just has good cash value, tremendous flexibility. You can even lower your premiums further by adding vitality. We'll get to that in a minute. We do have a new cash value enhancement rider and a preliminary funding account. So what that means is if clients don't like the fact that there's a lot of loads in life insurance, then they see that maybe zero cash surrender value in the first year, we can add a rider, spreads out your commissions, and we get a fair amount of cash surrender value year one, anywhere from 70 to 80% for these type of products that are not max funded. Okay, I'm going to show you a quick sales strategy that we use a lot of times. This is really simple. A lot of times when I'm dealing with clients, a lot of times in the bank world, in the brokerage world, clients feel they don't need life insurance. They feel that they'd be better off, and sometimes for advisors, I think, feel this way too, to invest for dollars in other assets. But they're also, when it was presented the right way, they're very surprised at the types of returns life insurance can generate. So this was a case, Loretta Stone, no relation to Rosetta, Bill. People always ask, I don't know why. So no relation. She didn't even speak Spanish, but she's 60-year-old, non-smoker, good health, no insurance in place. We're looking at a $1 million contract with a $12,000 premium. So her question, this is a common one, what is the rate of return on the premium at my death at my life expectancy? In other words, how much would I have to earn on another asset to equal the life insurance policy death benefit at my death? And what we found on this is that we have a nice presentation that we can put together. It will look just like this. It'll show you the premium, the death benefit, the rate of return, pre-tax equivalent, and probability of death. So, for example, if she were to die at age 75, it would be an 18.94% return, which would be a pre-tax equivalent of 27% because life insurance is always income tax free. This does not even factor in estate taxes. If we look at life expectancy itself, yes, the number went down from 18 to 6, but that's a net return of 6.44 net. That's a pre-tax equivalent of 9.2. And if you factor in someone who has an estate tax need, you're probably looking at a 14-15% pre-tax equivalent. So we have this program to help you sell this. But the reason I point this out is the Protection UL, all of our protection products are so inexpensive that the internal rates of return are really strong. The sister product to our fixed UL is the Protection IUL, and the story works pretty much the same way. Female 55, preferred non-smoker. This was a single pay, $1 million. The other one was a level pay. They both shine, level pays, short pays, single pays. But this product in particular, actually all of our products, if I had to pick a specific niche, short pays and single pays, there's no one even close. And you see here, North American, and Bill, I think I heard you say who. I'm not sure if I heard that correctly, but North American was the closest at 12%. Mutual Omaha 23%. I promise you, if you bring these companies up to your client, they're fine companies. I'm not knocking them, but they're not going to get the same reception as a John Hancock. So you see here, we have a tremendous target. We offer enhanced targets. If you pay 4 times the target in year 1, the target will automatically increase by 15%. So we have among the highest targets in the industry. There's extra money with Vitality. I'll talk about that in a minute. But look at this price separation. And again, you don't have to explain who the company is. Okay, I talked about the niche. The product looks great for level pays, short pays, single pays, but in particular, single pays, it really dominates. And obviously for policy views, that just works beautifully. So I would just make a quick mental note. Whenever I'm doing these meetings, I try to have all the listeners think of clients that in their book that they can go back and talk to about, hey, I know this client doesn't like to do underwriting, so I got the 3 million instant approval. My biggest client worth $50 million. I know he would love the fact that he wouldn't have to take an exam. I can do something special for him. Well, policy reviews, low-hanging fruit, super easy, probably the easiest sale. What are some key opportunities? Life changes. Someone bought a new home. Someone has a new child or a grandchild. New business, new employment, right? A lot of people are changing jobs right now. Change in health. We're just coming out of a pandemic. Change in marital status, right? So does the coverage that they have meet their current objectives? So maybe they had $1 million policy. Now they have a second child. They need another $1 million. Maybe they have a new business and they need business insurance. Maybe they had a change of health. Maybe they got married. So these are all things that generally lead to what I would call sales opportunities, doing policy reviews. Does the need that you originally bought still hold true? We have some people that maybe have lost money, and with the exemption so high, they're not worried about estate tax, but they're concerned about long-term care needs. This product will win every time from a numbers perspective, an internal rate of return standpoint, period, against the rest of the industry. Let's talk about long-term care. Super popular, super relevant. At the end of the day, long-term care is designed to provide a pool of funds on a tax advantage basis so that family members don't have to burden each other. My mom always tells me, she grew up in the Bronx, and she tells me stories about her whole immediate family was connected there and they took care of each other. But that's not how the world generally works today. I personally have one sister. I'm in Miami, Florida. I have a sister my parents are in New Jersey. I have a single sister in New York, and I have another sister married in Canada. No one, including myself, is going to quit their jobs to move to New Jersey to take care of my parents. So long-term care, I think, is probably one of the most important things to plan for. This is a heartbreaking story. I'll be very brief with this, but this is a client where, unfortunately, this is true. John, who was 85 years old, had dementia, and he had it for 15 years. He became belligerent. He was confused, unable to swallow, and his wife, who was 80 years old, has been his sole caregiver during this entire time. They did not have long-term care. They didn't want to burden the children. What happened was the stress on the caretaker was so great that she was diagnosed with cancer and she was unable to care for him anymore. She ended up dying 2 years later. But here's the saddest part of the story. The children basically had to come up with $8,000 per month to find a facility that would be able to take care of them. The facility, actually, because you've got trained professionals, were able to provide better support because they understood how to do it more. Even though Maria loved her husband, she was not a professional. And he actually improved. Improved where he could move out of the home? No. But he actually socialized more, was able to shower, swallow, do many things. And what's so sad about this slide is that if they had planned for their long-term care, most likely Maria would have lived because she wouldn't have been burned with all that stress of having to take care of John. And John maybe would have avoided having to be into a home because nobody wants to live their final years in a home. They want to be in their home, getting the quality care that they want. And that's why our long-term care rider is so important. We are not subject to government rules and regulations. We have a predetermined amount. Our long-term care is different because we are a reimbursement model. We're not subject to IRS limits. The formula, the long-term care, if you add to our product, is fully guaranteed the rates. And the clients will know exactly what they are getting because the LTC can only be used for LTC qualified expenses, completely tax-free. When you're doing a reimbursement contract, that benefit is subject to IRS limits. And as we saw this year, those limits for the first time, I think maybe ever, went down. Now, it didn't go down a lot. It went down to $10 a day. But again, it just shows you, do you want something that you're in control of or something that the IRS is in control of? In addition to that, our product is the lowest cost generally in the industry. Our LTC rider is the lowest cost in the industry. Again, our formula is guaranteed. We're not subject to the IRS limits, so we can go up to $50,000 a month, not the current per diem. All the benefits, because it's 100% qualified benefits, are completely tax-free. There's no need for the clients to fill out an 8853 form. And candidly, we just think it's the best LTC rider in the industry. When you combine that with Vitality, which I'll talk about right after this, we can actually get you a LTC rider for free. But in this example, I just wanted to show you our premium with our LTC rider of $11,309 on the 60-year-old preferred non-smoker for $750 was actually less than Nationwide, Prudential, and Pac Life. Those are three of my biggest competitors without their LTC riders even being attached. So lowest cost product, lowest cost LTC, guaranteed LTC rates, not subject to IRS limits, can go up to $50,000 a month. We think it's a great story. Okay, another differentiator. What I try to do when Bill asks me to speak is provide information that can help set you apart from the other agents you work with. So, sorry, that you compete with. How many of your clients, and I ask, do some form of exercise? Do they walk? Do they go to the gym, yoga, tennis, at least once a week, some regular form of exercise? How many care about their nutrition and try to eat healthy? How many go to the doctor at least once a year for an annual checkup? Do they go for an annual cleaning, etc.? I will tell you that 90% of your clients do at least one of these, and the majority do all of them. And I will tell you that if your clients even engage in just one of these activities, they're a perfect fit for Vitality. So Vitality is a healthy engagement rider as designed to give your clients motivation, tools, and a guide to help them move along, improve their health, and live a longer life. Scientifically, your clients will live an extra 5 to 6 quality years of life by engaging in this program. Why is this so important to John Hancock? It's really simple. If clients live longer, we get more premiums come in, we hold the death benefit longer. So it's important for us to have better mortality experience. It's important, I hope, to your clients because they'll live a longer life. And where everyone wins, the clients will actually, you can save up to 25% in premium savings, not overall, per year. And they're going to get plenty of rewards to engage. They can get an Apple iWatch for as little as $25, a free Amazon Halo if they don't want the Apple iWatch, access to Headspace, discounts at hotel.coms. They can get Amazon Prime membership for free based on their statuses. So it's an all-encompassing program where other companies are talking about, hey, we've got a new term product. We're talking about, hey, we just partnered with Amazon to offer a free Halo. We partner with Apple Watch to give you an Apple Watch for $25. We have deals with hotel.com. So it's a cool way to sell insurance. Clients love it. It has the highest net promoter score in the industry. Life insurance generally has a net promoter score of like 0 to negative. When clients buy Vitality, the net promoter score is about in the 40s. It's not equal to Amazon at 80, but for life insurance to get an NPR of 40 is pretty amazing. How the program works is simple. The more they engage, the more points they earn. Anniversary. The more points they earn, the higher the status. The greater the status, the greater the discount on the life insurance, and the greater the rewards. It's as simple as that. If someone is gold, generally speaking, for healthy lives, silver is about a 5% discount. Gold is about a 10. Platinum is about 15. And this is what's interesting. For unhealthy lives, the discounts are even greater, because we feel we can improve their health more. So someone who's rated, silver will be about a 10% discount, gold will be about 20, platinum would be about 25% per year. So your premium was 100 grand, it would be reduced to $75,000 a year. Huge, huge savings. Okay, I'm going to go through most of this. Bill's an expert in this program. Bill lives it. I mean, everyone who's seen Bill knows he's in phenomenal shape. But you can put points very easily through walking, through even sleeping and putting your phone away. So plenty to do. And there's so many opportunities. Like, how many times on the app have you seen, describe your exercise routine? Well, anyone who has an exercise routine is a perfect candidate for Vitality. If you're already doing it, why not get a discount for doing what you're already doing? Or how many times have we seen letters like this from clients? Look, my client might have diabetes, or might have had breast cancer, or might have had some liver issues, but they take so good care of themselves. That's exactly what the Vitality program is about. And they'll get discounts. And the beauty is, it's like a free business decision that you can do for every case. And that's what this is going to show. You had a case where the client essentially, we showed client at standard, premium was 50,000. He came back table 2, the premium was 60. We added Vitality Gold, that premium was $48,000 at the table 2 rate. With Vitality Gold, it's actually less expensive than standard without. This is one of the coolest things that anyone in the industry offers. It's a huge differentiator for John Hancock. It will be for you as well. It can be used for so many different reasons. I alluded to this earlier, but we talked about our long-term care rider. If you add the long-term care rider with our Protection Iul for this 45-year-old, the premium was $7,200, cheaper than everybody else with their riders. If you add Vitality Gold with it, you basically have a free LTC rider. You have not only the cheapest product in the industry, but it didn't even cost you anything to add the LTC rider. And with a 4% benefit, if we offer 1, 2, or 4% up to $50,000 a month, clients are getting $40,000 per month in LTC benefits as needed. And to make it a positive for the agents, like clients live a longer life, save money. The insurance company benefits by having the clients live a longer life, holding on to that death benefit more. As an agent, you will receive directly from John Hancock, don't worry, Bill, it's directly from John Hancock, an extra 10%. 10% on permanent policies up to target premium. This is a huge opportunity, like I said, to go back, talk to your clients. Clients who regularly see their doctors, exercise regularly. I promise you they'll love this program, and it makes a big difference in helping your clients sell. We're running out of time. I want to be cognizant of where we are. I just will let you know that we partnered with Google, actually Alphabet. They have a scientific division. that specializes in diabetic management, and we have a program called Aspire. If you have diabetics that you're working with, and I will tell you, we have we talked about COVID being a pandemic. We have one with diabetes. 30 million Americans are living in the US with diabetes. Over 80 million are pre-diabetic. The big story here is that most don't think they can qualify because of their condition, and if they do qualify, they think it's going to be too expensive. We have a special program designed for diabetics where we can lower their premiums up to 25%, give them state-of-the-art diabetes management support devices, and essentially give them content, give them access to telemedicine, where they can successfully manage their diabetes. So this is a partnership, like I said, we have with Alphabet. It's state of the art. It's free. Just when you come to John Hancock, I will tell you, we own this space. We not only underwrite diabetics better than anybody else. Now they pay less with us than anybody else, and they have the support that they need. This is all free to basically manage their diabetes, live a long life, and take control of this disease. I'm going to skip this, Luch, other than essentially let you know that we just came out with a brand new Accumulation Iul product. Essentially, this is a great product for income. So if someone wants to supplement their retirement income, we should be best in class with dollars going in versus dollars going out. The reason we use this product is everything grows tax deferred, everything comes out tax free. It's also a great product for premium financing. So I'm just going to quickly go into this and go into a quick case study. Why would someone do premium financing? I would say these are clients that have to be worth at least 5 million, ideally 10 million or more. Maybe they have the liquid assets. I call them, asset rich, cash poor. They own a lot of real estate or they own land. Or maybe they're the clients that tell you, I don't want to buy life insurance. I'm earning 20% on my business. Fine. You can borrow the premiums. Interest rates are at an all-time low. These IUL products, especially ours, have been averaging, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've gotten returns 20%, 19%, 18%. So it's this great arbitrage between the interest rates that you're borrowing the premium at and essentially what the returns for the index products have been. This was a quick case study, and then I'll wrap up. We had a Joseph Nash, 50 years old, good health, executive of a real estate holding company, net worth $30 million. Initially, he was presented just our protection IUL, lowest product in the industry, a 10-pay, $152 a year, target premium is $115. During the conversation, the agent realized that the client didn't have a ton of liquidity. You got these guys who are worth $30 million. They have a hard time writing a check for $50,000. So this 10-pay premium, although it might seem small for someone worth 30 million, it was not. So we pivoted to premium financing. We did a 7-pay design. We max fund the contract. So we put as much as the IRS will allow to accumulate cash value, which we're going to use to pay back that loan. Essentially, what we did was, from a design standpoint, we paid levelized interest of $100,000 a year. So again, he initially was showed $150,000 premium. We brought that premium, his outlay, I should say, down from $150,000 to $100,000 for 10 years. So we saved $500,000, reduces his outlay, and we're able to pay off the loan in year 14 and maintain the full $10 million of coverage. He loved it. He loved the idea to save $500,000. He loved the idea of creating leverage. It actually turned into a second sale that was bigger than this, and we did end up doing another $15 million. But the agent also was very happy because we brought his target from, Bill, $115,000. I know you're happy about this too, to almost double at $291,000 plus an extra 10% for adding vitality. I know we talked about a lot of things. I wanted to kind of give you a high-level overview of some of the success we're having, some of the things that we're doing. I can go on, but I want to be respectful of everyone's time. And Bill, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'll obviously stay around if there's any questions that pop up.
Thank you, Andrew. Great job as always. Now I think everyone sees the proof in the pudding here. Great platform, great updates, changes, great tech available now exclusively through that iPipeline iGo platform. So that's great stuff as well, because all of our agents are signed into that through the app and the desktop. So exciting stuff. What we're going to do, that Q&A box, like I said, fire away any questions, comments. And what we'll do is answer every one of them when we hang up, and we'll get Andrew back on the phone if needed, if there's anything we can't answer. So, Andrew, thank you again. Great job. I have a couple more slides, and then we're going to ask our question of the day and do our giveaway real fast. So real fast, when you're working on the fly, speaking of fast, right, you're on your mobile app or your desktop, laptop, iPad, whatever it is, you need to have everything at your fingertips. You got to be quick. You got to have quick answers. When the client's hot, you have to strike, right? If you get back to them a day later, in a lot of cases, the sale's over, okay? So what we did is we put together a bunch of cheat sheets that you have full access to, and again, no charge. And another great point is think about when you're working these various lead programs that we offer, right? We have 7 co-op lead platforms that you can participate in. When you're calling on these people, and here's a good example, right? You have, 45-year-old Mary who says, I need $1 million, but I don't want a nurse coming to my house right now in the middle of a pandemic. Okay, great. Cheat sheet A, here's all the non-med carriers, products, what the age limit is, face amount, minimum, maximum, everything you need to know on one easy to understand chart, so you can fire back with answers, right? And Mary can say, you know what? Wow, this is unbelievable. I can get 1 million non-med at 45 years old? Yes. And here's your quote. And boom, you go right into the iGo e-app or drop ticket. You just sold Mary a policy in less than 10 minutes, literally. So you have to know enough to be dangerous, and that's why we put these charts together. This is under, if you just hover over product info on our site and then simplified issue non-med, this chart comes up in front of you. We're also going to include this in the thank you email. But again, the point is we have to make things easier, more black and white for you, so you know where to find everything on the fly, which I said probably 20 times already. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So if you want to get more involved with IUL, right, let's say the mid to larger market, and you say, yeah, maybe I'm not that experienced and I need some hand-holding, right, so I can explain the pluses, the minuses, the guarantees, right, the current rates, the annual resets, max cap rate, whatever, everything. So we have an IUL software platform that you can leverage, okay? We can do this for you and run the illustration and send it to you for free, or you can have your own desktop version, and if you're selling IUL, you flip your iPad or laptop around, and this will do all of the selling for you, or you can do it through a webinar or Zoom call. So anyway, we have a complete section that has everything IUL related, including co-branded marketing material, okay, that you can start to sprinkle out to your network, friends, clients, neighbors, whatever, okay, all the above. We thought of everything from A to Z. That's on the IULexperience.com, which again, it's free. We'll include that in the thank you email as well. Now, Andrew spoke about how neat it is now being able to quote Hancock's permanent products on our IUL quoting engine. Now, we are the exclusive pilot agency that allows you, okay, when you go into our typical term perm quote engine, okay, on our website or on the app, you can click permanent. If you look on the left-hand side, the red box there, and you can run a full illustration. And what's so neat is the basic information you're putting in about that particular client will automatically populate into the full illustration and then into the e-app with the click of a button. So everything happens much faster. You don't have to go in and out, and it goes back to my same point where strike while it's hot, or else you can lose the client. So again, we are making things much easier and more streamlined for you to go out and make more sales, which is the name of the game. Okay, speaking of co-branded marketing material, we have a bunch of videos, we have e-blasts, we have brochures that you can send out or mail out, whatever you want to do, okay? If you're active with us, let's say through Hancock, for example, you send us a picture, logo, phone number, email, and we will get everything set up for you and send it out to you at no charge. You just pick which videos or blasts you want, done, off to the races. Next up is the Bill Levinson Experience podcast. Okay, you want to learn, you want to pivot, right? You want to make sure what happened 2 years ago, right? When this whole COVID thing hit us, you want to make sure that never happens again, or if anything crazy does happen again, that you're prepared, that your right foot is on the gas. No matter what's coming your way, your business is going to maintain or grow. Why? Because you were proactive and you put the right pieces in place to build your practice. Okay? And how do you learn? You learn from the best of the best. How many times do we hear, oh, Bill, I want to talk to one of your MDRT agents? Well, what did we do? We have a monthly podcast where we bring in guest speakers. In fact, I have a handful of top tier agents where I pick their brain for an hour and see what's working for them and what's not. And then you can learn and pivot from the best of the best, okay? Not necessarily me. I'm saying from our top agents like you all that are out there in the field. Okay, so you got to check these out. It's free. On the left-hand side, the top IUL sales coach in the industry, bar none. This was a podcast I did with Joe Ross. It's amazing. Okay, in fact, check out the webinars we did with him as well. You will learn a ton when it comes to IUL. Right-hand side is the next podcast. I'm recording next week with Jason, who now is a top CFP local guy, and again, the former voice of the Miami Heat. It's a great story. I met him actually at an insurance convention when I was 14 years old, the first time I saw snow in Denver, Colorado. So really, really neat story to see how far he has come and where he is today with his practice. And then, talk about some of the stories in sports broadcasting. It's really, really cool. I'm going to pick his brain for an hour. And again, it's all about you learning, right? And what's working and what's not. And then taking those nuggets and putting them into place, right? And putting the action plan together by leveraging what's working for these other agents that are in the field. Okay, we're almost done here, by the way, about 2 minutes. The upcoming agent training events, that's what you're on right now. So if you go to the bottom section in blue, that is the new Kansas City Life longevity term to 80 and 85. We're going to have our guest speaker on to talk about the new products with Kansas City Life. And by the way, all of their products come free with the scholarship program. That's going to be on the 24th next week at 3 p.m. And then we have another big one on the 31st, which is also Carrie's birthday, my father. So you got to be on that one because he's going to say a few words as well. We're going to have a top IUL sales strategist guest speaker, again, talking all about why IUL is the hot button in 2022. And you have to know enough to be dangerous, right, to make some of these sales, okay? I mean, the average case size on these IULs is 20 to 30,000. Okay, and that's commissionable target premium. So again, this will change your year. Last slide here in our Positive Tuesday quote of the day in our giveaway. We're going to end with a quote, and then I'm going to ask our question. So real fast, love this one. It's funny because it doesn't matter personal or business. It's all about change, and it's all about making a choice to change, right? Because if you know you must change, right, and this has been on the back of your mind forever, and you never put your right foot forward, you never did anything about it, you're going to be in the same place a year from now, 10 years, 30 years from now. So that's what this quote is about, and it's perfect with this webinar training. Your life will never change until you make the choice to take a chance. Today is time for change. Today, not tomorrow, today. So put your notes down, make sure you see it tomorrow, okay, so you can start to make the necessary changes to build your business. And by the way, in your notepad, it better say register for the Levinson Expo, because if you want to innovate and learn, okay, all about new sales strategies, you got to be there. April 8th. Make sure you have that written down. Our question of the day. So real fast, whoever answers first and correctly wins. Get your little fingers on your keyboard, okay, and get ready to answer. Fire away. The question is, I spoke about this about maybe 10 minutes ago. How many co-op lead programs does Levinson and Associates offer to our active agents? I said it about 8 to 10 minutes ago. How many lead platforms or programs does Levinson offer to our agents? Okay, tell me what the magic number is, and you win the new Fire 8 tablet and our IUL prospecting book. Andrew, do we have a winner, my friend?
We do. The first is Adam R. Adam R. from Colorado.
Adam from, it's funny, Colorado. Adam R. The answer was seven various lead platforms to Levinson active agents only. Okay, take a shot. We have a complete lead section on our website. Make sure you're comfortable with it. And I can't encourage you enough to try these out. In fact, they started just $2 a lead. So try them out, give them a shot. It's all about pivoting and changing the rest of your year, 2022. Make sure you're RSVP'd for the expo. We'll see you soon. Thank you again. And thank you, Hancock. Spiro, great job. Everyone did a great job. Thank you again. Have a great rest of the week and good weekend.